A very warm welcome to RTV News, folks, and thank you for joining us here this evening. We hope you had yourselves a very productive day. Now, top of our edition tonight, these are our headlines. On Tuesday, Prime Minister Dr. Edward Ngirente received a third cohort of U.S. congressional staffers who are in Rwanda for a 7-day visit under the Mutual Education and Cultural Exchange Program. According to the Ndera Neuropsychiatric Hospital, 70% of those with mental health problems are young adults, and the majority of these problems begin before the age of 25. Glad to have your company tonight, coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali. My name is Martina Avera. Now, kicking off our bulletin, on Tuesday, Prime Minister Dr. Edward Ngirente received a third cohort of U.S. congressional staffers who are in Rwanda for a 7-day visit under the Mutual Education and Cultural Exchange Program. We have more.
Following the meeting, the head of the delegation briefly outlined the key areas that were focused on during the discussions.
Key areas: education, healthcare, national security, peacekeeping, innovation, economic development, obviously reconciliation.
During the meeting, other matters were also discussed, such as governance here in Rwanda, as well as regional security issues. It doesn't have to be that neighboring countries should agree 100% on all issues. But even when it comes to disagreements, we did point out to them that they sometimes want to interpret our country's policies through the lens of their own politics as Americans, which should not be the case because Rwanda has a different history and culture that cannot be compared to the US. And we told them this. We explained, therefore, that we cannot be like them and do as they do, that we have our own path and walk it at our own pace. And it does not lead to a similar destiny as theirs, because they are a completely different people, which is visible in our history and culture. This is the third cohort of U.S. congressional staffers to visit Rwanda, and the visits have been noted to be helping the staffers to better understand the country and her people.
Experts in politics and diplomacy in the region find that there should be a political will and dialogue on the part of the DRC government and the M23 group in order to completely solve the ongoing security issues in the eastern region of DRC. Adam Squizera with more.
It has been 2 weeks since the fighting broke out in the eastern region of the Democratic Republic of Congo between the M23 group and the joint armed groups known as Wazalendo, that includes FDLR genocidal militia and Mai Mai, which are closely supported by the Kinshasa government. All this came just a month after the extension of the East African Community's regional forces mandate in eastern DRC. Gastomina Jean-Baptiste, a lawyer and regional analyst, finds that lack of political will by the DRC government is noted as one of the biggest weaknesses of the forces of this community.
Unfortunately, very recently, we saw the government forces taking over some of those positions that had been handed over to the Burundian army, which is deployed under East African regional forces. And these areas include the area of Mushaki and the area of Kirorirwe, Gichwa, and surrounding areas. So after they deployed there, then I think it's even one of the reasons that the war broke out, because they started fighting actually because they had regained the position that they had lost through war, and which M23 had withdrawn to hand over to.
It is a time when reports of the UN experts have shown the seriousness of the ongoing killings against Rwandophone citizens of DRC, plus the hate speech. This was also found by the ambassador of Rwanda to Switzerland, Rwakazina Malchantan, who reiterated this at the 54th session of the United Nations Human Rights Council during the enhanced interactive dialogue on the report of the High Commissioner and team of experts on the human rights situation in DRC.
Human rights violations and abuses in conflict-affected provinces in DRC, North Kivu and Ituri provinces being the most affected. The reported hate speech and incitement to violence based on ethnic identity against Kinyarwanda-speaking Congolese are still propagated mainly in social media, but more importantly, by DRC officials in public gatherings. The DRC government and army have reinforced collaboration with and supplied weapons and support to Wazalendo militia, creating a new cycle of violence, including ethnically motivated and retaliatory attacks. The government has also integrated local armed groups, the FDLR, and recruited mercenaries, all of which led to the ongoing rapid escalation of violence in the eastern DRC.
On Tuesday, the former president of Kenya and facilitator of the EAC-led Nairobi process on the restoration of peace and stability in eastern DRC, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, called on all parties engaged in such acts to immediately cease their armed offences and hostilities. Gasumina Jean-Baptiste also finds that the absence of peace talks between the two sides will only make the situation in that part of the country worse.
It's a war between two parties or two warring parties. What happens, either one party wins the war or they get a solution, a political solution or a negotiated solution. So if one is not possible, then the other is the one that becomes possible. I can't see any way forward if the government of DRC, through its president and other officials, say that they will never negotiate with M23. Then I think the remaining option is continuing the war, and whoever will win it will have the last word.
All this is happening while there are only 2 months left for the mandate of the East African Community Regional Forces to end in December this year, which will coincide with the elections expected in the Democratic Republic of Congo that month. Adam Squizera, RTV News.
According to the Ndera Neuropsychiatric Hospital, 70% of those with mental health problems are young adults, and the majority of these problems begin before the age of 25. On Tuesday, Rwanda joined the rest of the world in celebrating World Mental Health Day. Olive Nete with more on this report.
Some of the possible causes of mental health problems include family conflicts, lifestyle, social disadvantage, and various other factors. Some young people in Kigali City say that it is important to dare to discuss these issues as one of the ways to face them.
First of all is accepting that mental health problems really exist when you get to understand that you can even seek help and get treatment. The first step is accepting that you have the issue and then seek help. First, there should be family discussions. Parents should discuss with us and get to know what we are facing so that they can also be able to know how to help us. Those with severe issues should seek medical care and join rehabilitation centers.
According to Dr. Bizoza Rutakaire, a psychotherapist and psychiatrist at Ndera Neuropsychiatric Hospital, mental health is important because it affects the quality of life.
There are mental illnesses that can lead to other health conditions or diseases. There are also diseases that can lead to mental conditions. For example, HIV/AIDS can lead to depression. Our body and emotions go hand in hand. Our lifestyle, how we think and how we act all work together. When you are sad or overthinking things for a long period of time, it can lead to a persistent headache, and this may seem as a disease, yet it is a mental health condition.
On Tuesday, the Rwanda Biomedical Center, in collaboration with Solid Minds, launched a month-long campaign aimed at raising awareness about mental health problems and helping young people in universities deal with mental health issues. It is a campaign named Youth-Friendly Mental Health Campaign.
I will advise them to see a therapist, to consult therapists, psychologists. They are almost everywhere now in Rwanda, in district hospitals, pretty much everywhere. So yeah, that will be my first advice to them. But also I will encourage them to start these conversations wherever they're at, be it at school, be it on their campuses, be it in friend circles, to really care about this kind of conversations and to be each other's safe space, to really build in themselves those qualities of active listening, of trust, so that they are safe spaces to themselves but also to their environment.
Dr. Darius Gishoma, Division Manager of Mental Health Division at the Rwanda Biomedical Center, points out that the majority of mental health conditions begin under the age of 25. That is why there is need to address them early.
Bitatu bya kane by'ibibazo byo mu mutwe bitangira umuntu afite munsi y'imyaka 25.
3/4 of mental health conditions begin before the age of 25. That means that if we want to prevent this issue, we will not do it when people are already 25 years old. We need to start early because under 25 years, the brain is still developing and prevention is easier at that age. That is why we start with the youth and also children, and we have various campaigns in schools. But we also carry out campaigns for young adults.
Tendera Neuropsychiatric Hospital receives about 260 patients per day. In the 2021-2022 fiscal year, they saw an increase of 29.6%. More than 70% of the patients that the hospital receives are young people, and 70% of them are under the age of 25. Olive Nete, RTV News.
Thank you, Olive, for that report. In February next year, Rwanda will be hosting the Africa Energy Expo that is expected to draw as many as 6,000 delegates. The event comes as the country is well on track of meeting her goal of providing electricity to all of her citizens by the end of 2024 and seeks to use the technology that will be showcased during the expo to help address some of the challenges that have been encountered in the use of solar as part of the broader energy distribution drive.
The expo is clear. It brings different stakeholders together and it will trickle down also to the Rwandan the private sector. The private sector will have exposure to all different other stakeholders within Africa and in the world. So this will give them also an opportunity to strengthen their arms and provide a better service in the country, and if necessary also venturing outside in neighboring countries or within Africa. Important is that they provide us new features we don't have. Talking about different other different energy source and source providers, so that we can also tap into I'm thinking loud wind energy, I'm thinking loud of geothermal, I'm thinking loud of hydrogen as a medium for energy storage.
The Energy Expo will also feature more than 120 companies, but the benefits of hosting the major event will far exceed those found in the energy sector only.
This exhibition, the Africa Energy Expo, is very important for us as a country. It's the first on the African continent, and this gives us an opportunity as a country that we're going to benefit in so many ways. The first benefit we see is the direct impact in terms of the economic contribution to the country, in terms of the revenues that are going to be left in the country, and the revenues are going to be spent here in terms of accommodation, in terms of transport, in terms of restaurants, and the other services that really come with the delegate spending in the country. And with this, we really see it as a great opportunity for us as a country, given that it's a Pan-African event, and the event is going to attract around 6,000 international delegates that are coming into our country. And so with that, we really want to encourage all the Rwandans to take an opportunity and take advantage of this important expo coming to Kigali, and take all the opportunities we have to ensure that we maximize their presence here and benefit all the Rwandans.
Of Rwandans currently use solar energy, with another 50% connected to the national grid. The Rwanda Food and Drugs Authority warns citizens who illegally sell drugs that is prohibited. This comes as the recent recalled drugs off market included those that were introduced in the country illegally. Prince Manzi with more.
It is not unusual to hear of the recalling of drugs off market due to their substandard. Some of the pharmacists across Kigali City say that inspections are to be strengthened to curb the aftermath of the substandard medicines available for consumers.
We are also left wondering. They are recalling a product off the market, but it has been already used by a number of people. Are we sure that the people who consumed it are not in great danger? If their bodies are safe and others, such research are necessary. But it is essential that they do it before it's called on the market for the sake of safety to the consumers. The Director General of the Rwanda Food and Drugs Authority, Professor Emile Bienvenu, states that it is not unusual to recall a medicine off market, as standard inspection is a process that continues even after consumption. Nothing new in it, because recalling products is not new. It is done elsewhere across the world, and also it is our mandate in the first place. People have to understand that we also follow up on the standard of medicines after being consumed. A medicine can be consumed and not be effective as it was expected, or having negative effects, be they known or unknown. As Rwanda continues to invest in the health sector and research in general, the Director General of the Rwanda Food and Drugs Authority, Professor Emile Bienvenu, emphasizingly warns citizens who sell drugs illegally that they bother the implementation of the country's goal. Medicines are sold in the pharmacies licensed by the Rwanda FDA. The government of Rwanda is investing in the development of the health sector and research at large. We cannot leverage the behaviors of some people who bother the implementation of this program. We are working with the institutions in charge, the police, the Rwanda Investigation Bureau, and other sectors to stop this. Since January 2023, the Rwanda Food and Drugs Authority recalled off market 7 types of drugs. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
330 students are going to spend 6 days in discussions aimed at giving them a better understanding of what they are studying and their future. These talks are presented by the University of Rwanda in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation. We have more on this report.
These seminars bring together students that MasterCard Foundation pays for. The aim is to give advice to students in order for them to gain more knowledge that will help them create jobs as well as network with other entrepreneurs. It is already part of the general agenda for University of Rwanda for the students to be equipped with proper knowledge and skills so that by the time they are done with their studies, they are open-minded, bright students who can read and go out into the world and be job creators and be part of the country's development. They should be able to innovate and create. Some of these students say that this opportunity is their motivation to show their skills and participate in finding solutions to the problems that the youth currently face. I want to study hard and gain knowledge and understanding that will contribute to me developing a project to fight against food insecurity that is plaguing the continent.
I want to utilize the opportunity that I am being given here at the University of Rwanda so that I can gain enough skills that I will use to contribute to the betterment of the agricultural economy in my country.
MasterCard Foundation, apart from providing for them all the necessities they would need to study, also helps the University of Rwanda in improving the quality of education, as Dr. Raymond Ndikumana, Deputy Vice Chancellor for Strategic Planning and Administration, explains.
We believe it all starts with creating a suitable and up-to-date curriculum that is in line with the needs of the job market. Additionally, we are working with the College of Education to make sure that it starts from primary and high school, where students are taught skills and subjects that will enable them to come to the university when they are already equipped with some knowledge. We believe that it will contribute to Rwanda's vision of having an economy based on knowledge.
In the 10-year plan, MasterCard Foundation, in partnership with the University of Rwanda, will have 1,200 students and will spend $55.5 million, which is about 60 billion Rwandan francs.
And on that note, on behalf of the news production team and I would like to thank you very much for sticking with us on RTV News. I bring to you the Bulletin with Martina Abera. Stay safe and have a great night.